Hey everyone, Tyrone Nakwatase here for Talkin Taiko with Tyrone, and this is a special edition where we are partnering with the Taiko Community Alliance, yes, the TCA, to introduce the new staff members of the TCA. So I am really excited to do this next little mini episode here as we talk to the new business manager of the Taiko Community Alliance, longtime friend of mine, Courtney Ozaki. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, and congratulations on the new position.
Thanks, Tyrone. I'm excited.
Yes. So, before we go and talk about kind of what it is that you'll be doing with the TCA, let's talk a little bit about your Taiko history. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started?
Sure. So I grew up kind of as a Taiko kid, just like Tyrone. I started when I was 8 years old in the back of my aunt and uncle's van playing Taiko on my lap. My aunt is Nancy Ozaki and my uncle is Garrett Tsujimoto, and together they form One World Taiko. So they started, my cousins and I, at an early age. They asked if we wanted to learn. We said yes. We started playing, Matsuri, our first song. We graduated to performing at school assemblies, mostly for our own schools, and then we went from there. We played at Epcot Center with them during the summers, which was our first sort of big gig. We thought we were really cool. So we played, I think I was in middle school at the time.
Okay.
So we went for a couple summers there to perform as guests. And then as we moved into like high school, we were performing professionally with One World Taiko because Nancy and Gary moved back to Colorado for a while. And then they moved to Seattle, which is how they met you.
Right.
And we formed our own group, Mirai Daiko. So we formed that group in 2002. So it's my three cousins and I, and then we brought on more people over time. Jun Kurobane and Sarah Anderson was with us for a while, and Max Honkawa was with us for a while, and Erika Tanaka. So yeah, so we had our own ensemble. We still do kind of, but we took quite a hiatus during the time that I actually ended up going to New York City, and a couple of our members had babies. So we still play occasionally, but yeah, that's kind of my Taiko trajectory. I started playing some again with One World Taiko, off and on. We did a performance residency with them, a few of us in Dubai, which I think we're going to talk about a little bit, but yeah, so that's my Taiko trajectory. I taught some Taiko at local folk music school here, Swallow Hill, for about a year, and Taiko's just always been an integral part of my life. We have a really awesome, tight-knit Taiko community here in Colorado too, so does that answer your question?
Yeah, they answered a lot of things. I was like, okay, it's like, check. It's like, oh, got to go back to that one, ask a question. But yeah, so that's pretty good synopsis of kind of the overview of kind of your Taiko trajectory, your Taiko history. But yeah, just kind of covering a lot of areas, like in regards to kind of how we met through the joint performance we did. I think it was Salt Lake City. Yeah. That when I was playing with Gary and Nancy, and I think it's been cool that Max was a member of my group, Max was a member of your group, so we were able to kind of share a connection there. And then someone you talked about, Sarah Anderson too, was one of the people that helped to do the staging and lighting for our Inoshi Taiko 15th anniversary concert. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of times.
I forgot to mention too that we performed a Taiko Jam alongside Inochi Taiko.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say too. Yep.
Yeah, we shared the stage and we played Kaizo together.
Yep. So that was Taiko Jam 2011, Stanford. Mm-hmm. Yep. So lots of times that our paths have crossed, and we've done a lot of collaboration. Like you and I, and then also I think just our two groups over the last, gosh, almost 16 years.
Many
So
years.
I guess the time's really just flying by, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, but
We're still
yes,
young though, Tyrone. We're still young.
relatively, yeah. Well, you are, but I don't know about me. um, but yeah, let's. I want to jump in a few of these, but yeah, tell us a little bit about kind of what you were doing in Dubai, because that was a kind of that was a real cool experience. Another thing that I might have collaborated with you on again if I just hadn't got married and didn't think it would have been a good time to leave for a month. But yeah, tell us a little bit about what you did there.
Yeah, so One World Taiko was engaged to perform during a 2-month residency in Dubai at the Global Village, which is like an outdoor festival slash theme park, I guess. So they have sort of an amusement park side with like carnival rides and like a huge Ferris wheel. And then they have this whole section of different countries that are represented, and there are like goods and artisan creations and lots of food from all these countries. At the time, it was a lot of countries from the Middle East represented and South Asia, Africa. And so we were, One World Taiko was hired to perform on their One World stage. I think it's just coincidence, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. So we performed there 3 times a day, 6 days a week.
Okay.
And yeah, it was really fun. It was a great experience to be able to share taiko with varying size audiences. We would sometimes have we'd go from like 30 people in the audience to over 1,000.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, depending on the time of the month and the week. And so yeah, it was a really great experience. Probably my only time that I've played strictly, like I've strictly been a professional taika musician and wasn't
Oh
doing
yeah.
other work.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really interesting, and kind of gave me some time to think about my next steps professionally.
Mm.
It was great to be there with family, and a great experience to live in another country.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you think some of your work, kind of as a kid working at Epcot, kind of prepped you for being able to kind of go and then do something? Because it's kind of a little bit similar, right? But I guess many years later.
yeah, I think learning stage presence, which I mostly, I attribute to Gary and Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, learning to perform for many different types of audiences, learning how to think on your feet when things happen.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna be in the audience, or when you're gonna throw a bachi on accident or whatever. So yeah, just performing that often, and with a lot of different types of audiences, definitely. Definitely being at Epcot. It was like a long time between the two,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're kind of similar places.
Yeah.
Actually. So it's kind of interesting how that worked out. But there's a lot of really good food in Dubai too. That's
Nice.
I remember.
And why don't you tell everyone a little bit about the project that you're still working on, but I guess immediately before you kind of took this TCA job, kind of the project or organization you founded. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually it's kind of full circle, because when I was in Dubai, I was considering, do I want to do this taiko thing full time, or do I want to maybe pursue like higher education, get my master's and gain some valuable experience in the field for some of these things that I feel like I could use some work on, including like financial, like financial wherewithal and like
Sure, yeah.
some of these things that were scary to me, like asking for money, development, you know. So
Mhm.
so I decided to go to grad school in New York following Dubai. And I got my master's in performing arts management, and I always had the intent of coming back to Colorado to create something, as with that being my home base, do something for artists and the community there. But it really evolved because of my connection to Taiko, and the connections I made through that with other types of artists who are Japanese artists living in America,
Mhm.
whatever that might mean, like Japanese American or from Japan.
Right.
So I kind of, my trajectory led me to, I'd worked in, like as a producer, in dance, and I'd worked in all these different areas of over time of interdisciplinary arts, and
Mhm.
met a lot of people through that, and realized that I had a lot of skill sets that I could bring to the table to connect Japanese artists with different types of stakeholders, different audiences, help them to build engagement with community, especially Japanese and Japanese American community leaders. So I formed the Japanese Arts Network,
Yep.
which is my business. Formed it about a little over a year ago officially.
Yeah.
And since then, we've been doing a lot. It's moved really fast. So
Yeah.
now I'm kind of like, stepping back and trying to like still create the infrastructure that I want and the strategic plan moving forward. But we've been able to do a lot of, incubatory events to just sort of explore those relationships,
Mhm.
and to introduce people to these artists in, new and exciting ways, explore how there can be like, an ecosystem of, a sustainable ecosystem where everybody's sustaining each other, and there's a mission alignment throughout, but also it's like an educational opportunity for people to learn about Japanese culture in some cases, or to learn, to have a deeper dive into the work that these artists create. So yeah, it's a lot about intention and finding ways to create deeper connections between all of those areas of people. Um, so that's my other job. But it does allow, because I'm the founder of that, and we're kind of, we're still growing. It fortunately allows me the capacity and bandwidth to take on this TCA role, and they're very tangential,
Yeah.
but also very like kind of separate things. So that are, I think they mesh well together, or they're complementary, I guess.
Yeah. I man, I'm like hitting myself in the head right now because it's like, oh, I should have worn the John A shirt.
Aww.
I just thought about this. Like, what was I thinking? It's like, or I could have worn the Denba shirt. It's like, oh
Thank you
gosh,
for supporting.
oh, I didn't think about that as I was coming on until you started talking about. I was like, why did I think of that?
Oh,
Oh,
I
in
should
any
have worn
case,
mine.
well, so much for maybe we need to both work on our marketing, I guess, But
Yeah, I know.
but in any case, that's actually a good segue, because I think let's get into a little bit about the business manager role that you're going to be playing with TCA. So first, why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of what the role is and what it is that you're actually going to be doing?
Yeah. So as a business manager, we've brought on, 3 different roles, staff roles at this point for TCA. Myself as a business manager, we have Christina as a program manager, and then Sarah, who's been a long time, you know, contractor and working with TCA closely.
Right.
But she definitely, she's irreplaceable. So she's
Oh yeah.
on now as operations manager.
Mm-hmm.
And so my job is to oversee our staff of 3. I report to the board. I also oversee, programs and not programs. Christina's the program manager, but I
Right.
kind of on the high level, programs expansion and execution of TCA's mission.
Hmm.
And then, I provide financial and strategic oversight, and I'm there to be familiar with all the ins and outs of the business of TCA.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm the primary, point of contact for staff and board. I'm still learning everything. It's been a week or two, basically 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So still wrapping my head around everything, but just to bring some structure, and to have the support that that they've needed for a long time, but they've made it work really, really well.
Yeah.
With an incredibly devoted working board. So just to take some of those things off of their plate, so they can focus on areas where they're most interested in doing meaningful work, and
I see.
to be a supporting role in this.
Yeah, I think that's going to be awesome, just because I know that, all the TCA board members, put in so much time and effort into all the different committee work and all the things that they do kind of for Taiko Community Alliance to kind of, on one hand, free up some time for them, but also potentially TCA people are going to work more. But it's like, you're going to free up space for them to kind of explore other ways that the organizations can grow. So thanks,
Mhm.
board members. I just put more work on your plate, but but no, but seriously though, I think that that's going to be good that, now that we've got the three guys on staff, that, who even knows, right? It's like where we're going to be able to kind of go in the future in regards to kind of expanding the outreach
Yeah,
of the TCA.
there are endless possibilities. There's so much opportunity.
So I guess the question I have for you is, if you were to kind of imagine kind of your hopes and dreams for this position, something that you want to accomplish, by the end of the year or within your first year of doing this, what would that be?
Well, definitely, providing a smooth transition to having staff, and with the working board, sort of like managing the organizational structure to a point where we have a good flow going by the end of the year, because there are so many people that dedicate and devote so much time and energy to this because they're really passionate about it. So finding a good balance, better understanding the needs of TCA members and the Taiko community, especially given the current environment that we're being faced with,
Yeah.
and expanding our understanding of how we can best be a resource for the North American Taiko community. I think those that came before me have done an excellent job of stepping up and providing resources and support, both financially, but also like as a community,
Yeah.
loving support for the Taiko community as we all deal with this pandemic. I also would really like to build stronger regional networks. You and I have talked about this quite a lot, but
Yeah.
provide more opportunities for that type of like very authentic and organic connection
Yeah.
that we've talked about quite a bit, that we've felt over time, and just supporting artists so that they're able to as much as possible, so they're able to create and share and advance the art form and educate, like making that as easy as possible for Taiko artists across the country. So I guess big hopes and dreams, but not impossible.
Yeah.
So those are, I would say those are all or not all of them, but some of the hopes and dreams I have.
Yeah, I think that the work that you're kind of doing with your business with John A, right, and like TCA, they do really kind of meld in very well together, kind of in
Without
kind of
getting in the way of each other. They're just very
very I think it's going to be awesome that we're going to see both organizations grow. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to kind of fill us in a little bit about who you are, kind of what is it that you'll be doing with the TCA. So, how about I know we just glossed over so much history that we have, and your taiko history that I know is very extensive. Can we get you on for a full length podcast, Talkin Taiko, Tyrone episode, maybe a little bit later on?
Yes, we can
Awesome.
definitely do that.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, thanks again, Courtney. If you're interested in learning more about the TCA, just go to taikocommunityalliance.org, and that's going to give you all information about kind of the programs that TCA is doing, what they've done in the past, and kind of what's coming up in the future. If you're interested in learning more about Courtney on a future episode, and all of the TCA staff, I'm going to be getting them on future episodes of Talkin Taiko with Tyrone. You can find us on Facebook, where we do a lot of the updates to know about kind of what's coming out new. Our audio podcast is going to be found on SoundCloud. All the episodes are on SoundCloud. And we're also on Spotify. All the brand new episodes are on Spotify, and we're slowly kind of putting the backlog of the old episodes on Spotify, but they're not all there quite yet. But we're working on it. So, but definitely all the new episodes are going to be on Spotify. We also have a YouTube channel, and where you can see videos like this, or our game show, Talkin Taiko with Tyrone Presents Game Night, and also some little kind of tidbit things that we record here and there, little promos and fun stuff. So make sure you find us on all those platforms. We're on Instagram too, so check us out everywhere. So in any case, thanks again, and we'll be talking with you hopefully soon, okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks, Tyrone.
See ya.
Bye.